Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Question number 9. Iqra il amthilata. Read the examples. As we know that Iqra is fi'l al-amr, and after fi'l al-amr the noun is mansub. So that's why amthilata is mansub. ثم أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. Then answer the following questions mustamilan, by using ad-dama'ira, the pronouns. And what are the pronouns? Who, whom, ha, and hunna. So that means these are attached pronouns, as we say, muttasil dama'ir. So we have to read the examples and then we have to complete the exercise accordingly. Ara'ayta hamidan. Did you see Hamid? Na'am ra'aytuhu. So basically, the idea is to learn here the attached pronouns, as we have already learned attached pronouns in book number 1, right? So in book number 2 here, the idea is we need to know that the attached pronouns, whenever they come with the verb, they always come as maf'ul bihi. They always come as an object. For example, here we say Ara'ayta hamidan. Did you see Hamid? So here it's easy to figure out that Hamid is maf'ul bihi because it has fathatan and it is mansub, right? But when we have who, the attached pronoun, then the ending is, as we can see, it's fixed mabniyun in certain cases, and when we talk about who. So in this case, it's difficult to figure out whether it is used as an object or not. So now it's clear that whenever the attached pronoun comes with the verb, it is used as an object. It is used as maf'ul bihi. So who refers to Hamid. So either you can say Ara'ayta Hamidan, or you can say Ara'aytahu. Did you see him? And generally we use the pronouns, the dama'ir. Basically, when you use the noun first time, you don't want to repeat it again. So after that, we use the attached pronoun or the detached pronoun. So this is basically to avoid the repetition of the noun. Then we have Ara'ayta Hamidan wa Hishaman wa Aliyan. Now we can see that we have more than one. We have Hamid, we have Hisham, and we have Ali. So they are mansub. That's why they have fathatan, and we can see that one alif is added as well when it is mansub, when the noun is mansub. There are some exceptions, and inshallah we will learn in the end of the exercise, like one of the exceptions, like where we cannot add alif. Naam ra'aytuhum. Of course, now we have more than 2 persons, and whenever we have more than 2 persons, for them we will use the plural attached pronoun. So we will say na'am ra'aytuhum. Ara'ayti Zainaba. Did you see Zainab? So now for the feminine, of course, we have learned in the previous lesson that for the feminine it has to be kasra, especially with the verb. Ara'ayti Zainaba. Na'am ra'aytuha. And we know that when we talk about singular feminine third person, then we have to use ha. And Ara'ayti Zainaba wa Aminata wa Su'ada. Did you see Zainab, Amina, and Su'ad? Na'am ra'aytuhunna. Yes, I saw them. Now here, who, whom, ha, and hunna, they are the attached pronouns, and here they are used as object. They are used as object. So this is a verbal sentence, and we know that verbal sentence generally consists of the verb and the doer, for sure, and then sometimes it has object, sometimes it does not have object. So whenever we have the object and whenever we have the attached pronouns, when they come with the verb, they will be used as an object. Now let's do the exercise. Ara'aytu tullab al-jududa. Did you see the new students? Na'am ra'aytuhum. Ahsanti. Na'am ra'aytuhum. Yes, I saw them. Ara'ayti al-mudirata wa ukhtaha wa bintaha. Did you see the headmistress and her sister and her daughter? Now for the feminine, what do we have to say? Na'am ra'aytu hunna, right? Ra'aytu hunna. Na'am ra'aytu hunna. Okay, one more thing that you need to practice over here. As we know that the lesson is mainly focusing on the past tense. So in past tense, when you say when we talk to the singular person which is mukhatab and mudhakkar, we say ra'aita. And when we talk about singular feminine mukhatab muannath, then we say ra'aiti. We have learned in the previous lesson ra'aita and ra'aiti. Okay, then we have ra'aita al mudarrisa. Did you see the teacher? So you will say na'am ra'aitu. Okay, for the teacher, what should we use? Who, right? Na'am ra'aituhu. Okay. Aina ra'aita ukhtaka Maryama. Where did you see your sister Maryam? Uh, yes, what would you say? رأيتها أي مكان في السوق في المكتبة في البيت, right? Yeah, so you can say رأيتها في المكتبة. I saw her in the library. Now we have the question أين رأيت. Now since we are being asked about the place, so we have to provide the place in the answer. So you can say رأيتها, and we know that ha refers to the sister. Okay, now here we can see that we have ukhtaka and we have Maryama. طيب, why Maryam has fatha over here? Why Maryam has fatha over here? Because it is the substitute of ukhta. Now we can see that the status of ukht is mansub, and we are using it for Maryam. So whatever the word that we are using for, we have like whenever we have the substitute badal, sorry, so I should say substitute. Whenever we have the badal, the substitute has the same ending as the ending of the mubdal minhu. So first we have mubdal minhu, and then we have badal. So this is called badal, substitute. So if it is ukhtuka, it will be Maryamu. If it is ukhtaka, it will be Maryama. And if it is ukhtiki, it will be Maryama, because Maryam is mamnu min as-sarf. It will not take kasra, but we know that it is majroor. So it will have the same ending as the ending of the noun that comes before it. Ara'aita sayyarat al-mudiri. Did you see the car of the headmaster or the teacher, or sorry, the manager? You say نعم رأيته, or you say رأيتها, sorry, نعم رأيتها, or you say لا ما رأيتها. You can also practice with the with the negative as well. So you say لا ما رأيتها, I didn't see it. أين رأيت الأطباء يا علي. Where did you see the doctors, oh Ali? أطباء, yeah. So he will say رأيتهم في المستشفى or رأيتهم هنا. So whatever answer you want to give, but you have to make sure that you will say رأيتهم, because أطباء means doctors. So you will say رأيتهم هنا, or you say رأيتهم في المستشفى. متى رأيت المدير يا يونس. When did you see the manager, or Yunus? Then you have to give the time, بعد الظهر بعد العصر الساعة الرابعة خامسة, whatever it is, or you can simply say رأيته قبل قليل. I saw him a while ago. So here, whom, who, all of them, they are object. They are what? Object. All right. So the last one is أرأيت آمنة وخديجة وبريرة. And we know that the feminine names are mamnu min as-sarf. So it will be نعم رأيتهن or لا ما رأيتهن. It's up to you. If you say نعم, you will say نعم رأيتهن. And if you say لا, then you will say ما لا ما رأيتهن. So it's up to you whether you can give the answer with al-ithbat or with nafi. So if it is positive, you will say na'am, and if it is negative, the answer is negative, then you will say la ma ra'aytuhunna, I didn't see them. So now hunna, who, whom, ha, and who, all of them, they are objects. Which one? أرأيت آمنة وخديجة وبريرة. نعم رأيتهن. If you say نعم, you will say نعم رأيتهن. Okay, طيب. متى رأيت المدير يا يونس. When did you see the manager, oh Yunus? So you will say رأيته في الساعة السابعة أو رأيته قبل قليل. It depends, like whenever you want to talk about the time, then you will say رأيته قبل قليل, I saw him a while ago. When did you see the manager? Then you have to give the time, because this is mata. So whenever you have the question where you have to give some information, like aina or mata, then you have to provide with the information. Is that what you're asking, or is there any other question that you want me to answer? Okay, you're welcome. اقرأ المثالين. Read two examples. Ani, aini, aini. You need to remember the sound. Ani, aini, aini. And why here aini is mansub? Yes, could you please tell me? Could anyone tell me why al mithalaini is mansub? It is mansub because of iqra. Why it is mansub? Because of iqra. We know that iqra is command, fi'l al-amr. Every command has an inbuilt doer. Yani anta taqra. It depends on who you are talking to. In this case, I'm talking to one person, mukhatab, singular. So I say اقرأ المثالين. Read two examples. ثم اربط بين كل من الجملتين. Then you have to connect between each of the two sentences. مستعملا, by using anna. Okay, by using anna. وَعْلَمْ, and know anna, that anna min akhawati inna, that anna is from the sisters of inna. So it's a beautiful text, as we can see over here. Here it says wa'lam, and know that know anna, that. So wa'lam anna, know that anna. Here it means that, and here it is in the brackets. So in the brackets means we need to know that what we are talking about. So we are talking about anna. Know that anna is from the sisters of inna. So we have learned about the sisters of inna, and anna is one of them. What is the difference between inna and anna? Do you remember? How do we use inna and how do we use anna? Does anyone remember? Yes, please. I would like you to answer so that I know that you are with me. Inna means indeed, and anna means that. Perfect. The meaning is different. What about the uses? The usage is the same, or is it different? Inna, I taught you about two uses. Yeah, inna comes in the beginning of the sentence, and inna comes after the verb qala. It comes after the verb qala. So inna comes after qala, and also it comes in the beginning of the sentence. However, anna always comes in the middle of the sentence, and it always comes after the verb. It comes after the verb. The exception is qala. After qala, we always use inna. After qala, we always use inna, and the rest of the verbs in Arabic language, we always use anna after that. Huwa maridun, he is sick. Adunnu annahu maridun. I assume that he is sick. So anna means that. I assume that he is sick. And we know that anna has ismu anna and khabaru anna. So here you need to know three things. Number one, after the verb we will use anna. That's number one. Number two, there is ismu anna and there is khabaru anna. Who will be ismu anna? And number three, maridun will be khabaru anna. We know ismu anna is mansub and khabaru anna is marfu. Here, who is mansub, but we cannot see the case endings over here, as we know that it is mabni and it will not change. Okay, excellent. طيب. Then we have al-mudarrisu ma ja'a, the teacher did not come. أظن أن المدرس ما جاء, I assume that the teacher did not come. طيب. Okay, one more thing. أظن and رأيت or رأيت. These two verbs are very, very important verbs, and sometimes they need two objects. Inshallah, we will learn more about that in book number 3. Okay. Anta tabibun, you are a doctor. Anta subject and tabibun predicate. Now you want to say, I assume that you are a doctor. So how will you say? Adhunnu annaka tabibun. Adhunnu annaka tabibun. So after adhunnu we have anna, and after that ka will be ismu anna, and tabibun will be khabaru anna. Huwa min al-Yabani. Now you want to say, I assume that he is from Japan. So we will say, yes, adhunnu annahu min al-Yabani. Very good. أظن أنه من الياباني. هي مريضة, she is sick. Now you want to say, I assume that she is sick. So you will say أظن أنها مريضة. Okay, very good. Now here we are learning about two things simultaneously. What are two things? Number one, we are learning that after the verb we use anna. And number two, we are also learning that the attached pronouns when they come with anna or when they come with inna, they will be ismu anna or they will be ismu inna. So whenever they come with the attached pronouns, whenever they come with anna, they will be ismu anna. Okay, hum tullabun. Now you want to say, I assume that they are students, so you will say adunnu annahum tullabun. Annahum tullabun. Okay. Anti jaw'a, you are hungry. Now you say, I assume that you are hungry, so you will say adunnu annaki jaw'a. Adunnu annaki jaw'a. For anti, we will use ki. So we will say adunnu annaki jaw'a. What's the ending of jaw'a? Is it marfu, mansub, or majroor? Tell me quickly. It is marfu'. Here it is marfu', and we know that it is khabar, so khabar is marfu', and here it is marfu' because it is ismu anna. Khabaru anna, sorry, khabaru anna is always marfu. However, we cannot see the case ending because it ends with alif maqsura. So alif maqsura does not accept any kind of harakat. It does not accept dhamma, fatha, or kasra. Al maktabatu maftuhatun. Now you want to say, I assume that the library is open. So you will say, adunnu anna al maktabata maftuhatun. Adunnu anna al maktabata maftuhatun. Al-qahwatu baridatun. Coffee is cold. Now you want to say, I assume that the coffee is cold. So you will say, adunnu anna al-qahwata baridatun. Adunnu anna al-qahwata baridatun. Yeah, okay. This is not ya. First of all, this is not ya. This is alif maqsura. Alif maqsura. Any noun that ends with alif maqsura, for example, you say bushra, sughra, kubra, right? There is always fatha before it or standing fatha before it, and it is a fixed noun. Fixed noun means it is mabniyun, and you know that when the noun is mabniyun, when it is fixed, then the ending will not change. For example, hada, dhalika. Similarly, bushra, Musa, Isa, very good, yeah. Excellent, very good example. Isa, Musa. So whenever you have like the word Musa or Isa, and we know that this is a fixed noun, so the ending will not change. That means it will remain as it is, and also you cannot put fatha, dhamma, or kasra on alif maqsura. Alif maqsura is always empty. Inshallah, I hope it's clear now. Muhammadun dhahaba ila Makkata. Muhammad went to Makkah. Now you want to say, I assume that Muhammad went to Makkah. So you will say, adunnu anna Muhammadan dhahaba ila Makkata. Adunnu anna Muhammadan dhahaba ila Makkata. Now we can see that after anna, it will be Muhammadan and not Muhammadun. Because after anna, ismu anna will be mansub. That's why we say, ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan. So Muhammadan is mansub because of anna, and abduhu is marfu. Abdu is marfu. Why it is marfu? Because it is ismu, it's khabaru anna. So now inshallah, I'm sure that whenever you say shahada, you know it grammatically how it is. So ashhadu is the verb. Anna, as we know, it's an emphatic particle, and then Muhammadan will be ismu anna, and abduhu will be khabaru anna. Abduhu wa rasuluhu. So that will be khabaru anna. Fatimatu fil maktabati. Fatima is in the library. Adunnu anna Fatimata fil maktabati. Adunnu anna Fatimata fil maktabati. As we know that Muhammadan will take it will take fathatan, but Fatima will take only fatha. Why it will take only fatha? Because it is mamnu min as-sarf. It is ghair munsarif, and the nouns that are ghair munsarif, they do not accept tanween. Antum mudarrisuna, your teachers. Okay. Adunnu annakum mudarrisuna. Adunnu annakum mudarrisuna. Inshallah, satakununa mudarrisina. Inshallah, dhata yawmin. One day, inshallah, you will be teachers as well. So antum will be replaced with annakum. Annakum mudarrisuna. Iqra ma yali, read that follows. Okay, basically what we have to do here now, we have to learn the numbers. We have to learn the numbers, and the numbers from 11 to 20. In the beginning of the lesson, when we discussed the handouts, I gave you the groups of the numbers, and we said that one and two, number one and number two is one group, then 3 to 9 is another group, or 3 to 10 is another group, then 11 and 12 is another group. When we talk about numbers 11 and 12, we know that the numbers that 11 to 12, they will be equal in number and gender, other than madud will be the same. So we have to look at the madud first, madud that is being counted. So it is also called tamyiz, but we will say madud as of now. So madud is something that is being counted. So madud is feminine here. If the madud is feminine, then the adad has to be feminine as well. So you say ihda ashrata talibatan. So the whole construction will be feminine. And similarly, when you say 12, so you will say ithnata ashrata talibatan. So it will be 12 students. Okay. Also remember that ithnata is flexible, or I should say it's munsarif. Munsarif means that it will have, the ending will change. It can be ithnata, ithnatai, ithnatai. Ihda will not change. So 11 does not change. And similarly, 13 to 19, the ending does not change. But for 12, the ending changes. So in fact, I should say here it should be check, and here it should be X. So the ending for 13 to 19, the ending does not change. And also for 11, the ending does not change. But for 12, the first part, the ending will change. It can be ithnata, it can be ithnatai, ithnatai, and inshallah, we will discuss the examples from the Quran as well. Then we have the numbers from 13 to 19. So 13 to 19 is another group. Okay, do you know this group? What kind of group is this? What is so special about it, about this group? Yes, please tell me quickly. The adad is always compound. That means it will be a combination of two words. That's number one. And number two, the adad is always fixed with fatha. It is fixed with fatha. That means the first two parts of the numbers, or the first two numbers, as we can see over here, the ending will not change. The ending will always be with fatha. It will never take dhamma, and it will never take kasra. From 13 to 19, the numbers, the first part will never take fatha, dhamma, and never take kasra. It will always take fatha. That's number one. Number two, if the ma'dud is feminine, now we can see ma'dud is feminine. So the first part of the compound construction will be opposite in gender. Talibatan is feminine, so the first part will be masculine. So it will be thalatha ashrata talibatan. So if the ma'dud is feminine, the first part will be masculine. And we have learned about if the madud is masculine, we have learned that in the previous lesson. So for example, if we have taliban over here, for example, just for you to review this, if we have taliban over here, then the first part will be feminine. So this will be feminine. So it will be thalathata ashara taliban. So this is the thing that you need to notice. So we say أربع عشرة طالبة خمسة عشرة طالبة ستة عشرة طالبة تسعة عشرة طالبة. Sorry, so we should go here. ثلاثة عشرة طالبة, and then we have أربع عشرة طالبة, then we have خمسة عشرة طالبة, then we have ستة عشرة طالبة, سبع عشرة طالبة, and then we have ثماني عشرة طالبة. It's a special noun, is ismul manqus, so the ending will be like this, with ya will be always sakin. And then we have tis'a ashrata talibatan. So this is our fourth group. So in this slide we have three different groups. In this slide we have three different groups. Group number one is for the numbers 11 to 12. So that is one group. 11 to 12 is one group. Then 13 to 19 is another group. 13 to 19 is another group. And then 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 20 to 90 is another group. So we have all the three groups over here, because we have ishruna over here, and ishruna can also change into ina. Una, ina, ishruna, ishrina, ishrina. Iqra ma yali, read that follows. Thumma aktubhu, then write it. Ma kitabat al-arqami, by writing the the numbers or the figures al-waridati, the following, fihi, in it, bil hurufi, with the words. So now we have to read the following sentences and then write the replacing them with the figures with the words. So now we have to replace figures, as we can see over here, with the words. Okay, so figures are here and we have to write the Arabic form of the figures or the numbers that we have over here. Okay, kam sinnuka, how old are you? Sinnun means age, and it is also used for the tooth. Hmm? Tooth, and the plural will be asnanun, teeth. Okay, but if someone is saying kam sinnuka, it doesn't mean that someone is asking how many teeth do you have. It basically means how old are you, and you say sinni. Okay, my age is 19 years. So for 19, what will you say? تسعة عشرة تسعة عشرة سنة. I am 19 years old. Now you want to say قرأنا 14 صفحة من هذا الكتاب. We have read 14 pages in this book, and the reason why I'm reading it in English, because I don't want to give you the Arabic. You have to give me the Arabic for that. So what will be the Arabic for 14? أربعة عشرة صفحة من هذا الكتاب. في هذه الحافلة 18 راكبا و 15 راكبة. Okay, so 18 will be 18 راكبا 15 راكبة. Now this is a beautiful combination over here. Here we have both the madud. The first part, the madud, is masculine, and the second part, the madud, is feminine, right? So now we can see over here, when the madud is masculine, the first part is feminine. As you can see over here, it has ta marbuta. But when the madud is feminine, then the first part is masculine. The numbers are, I wouldn't say very challenging, but you can say that the numbers are challenging in Arabic language. That's why we have to pay very special attention and practice as much as we can when we talk about the numbers. And inshallah, we will discuss one document where we have the numbers, all the numbers that have been used in the Quran. That will inshallah definitely help us. هذا فندق صغير. This hotel is small. فيه 12 غرفة فقط. It has 12 rooms only. So feminine, so we will say إثنتا عشرة غرفة. إثنتا عشرة غرفة. عثمان له 11 ابنا و 12 بنتا. Uthman has 11 sons and 12 daughters. So we will say Uthman lahu 11 ibnan. You can remember from 11 كوكبا 11 ibnan, and 12 bintan. 12 bintan. So here inshallah you need more practice, and the more you practice, the more you will learn. أنا حفظت 13 سورة. I have memorized 13 surahs. So what will you say? أنا حفظت, yes. 13 سورة. 13 سورة. I have memorized 13 surahs of the Quran. في هذا المستشفى 19 طبيبا و 17 طبيبة. Okay, في هذا المستشفى. Now you can see here مستشفى ألف مقصورة, so it will not take kasra. After fi, the noun should be majroor, but we cannot put kasra over here. So you will say, yes, number 7. 19 طبيبا و17 طبيبة. Okay, very good. 19 will be 19 طبيبا, and 17 will be 17 طبيبة. Have you noticed one thing? When you talk about the feminine madud, when the madud is feminine, something easy to remember, when the madud is feminine, then the part of the number that comes before it will also come with feminine. So you can say that the last two numbers will always end with ta marbuta. As you can see over here, they will end with ta marbuta. قرأنا اليوم 18 كلمة جديدة. So you want to say that we have learned 18, is it 18? Yeah, 18 new kalimas, or the words, yes. So it will be 18. Okay, 18. أحسنتي. 18 كلمة جديدة. هذا القلم ب 14 روبية. Okay, rubiyatan. Why? Because the mansub is always the madud is always mansub. Okay, 9 is أربعة عشرة ربية. Sorry, هذا القلم ب. Yes, 14 ربية. Yes, number 9. أربعة عشرة. أربعة عشرة. Very good. لا ربية is feminine, so it should be عشرة, right? تا مربوطة. Both will end with تا مربوطة. في هذا العمارة 60 16 شقة. 16 شقة. Okay, number 10. So you will say ستة عشرة. ستة عشرة شقة. And the thing that I told you that you need to remember that both whenever there is ta marbuta, then you will also see ta marbuta before it. في هذا الفصل 20 طالبة. طيب, let me see how are you going to give answer over here. Not 20. في هذا الفصل 20 طالبة أو 20 طالبة. 20 or 20. 20. Okay, why 20? Why not 20? Yeah, okay, so why 20? That's my question. Okay, anyone over there? هل من المجيب okay, but my question is why لا, you will use both. 20 you will use for both, whether masculine or feminine, you will use the same number, one number. My question is why not ina? Why una? Una, ina. So for example, here we say ishruna. Why not ishrina? Why not ishrina? That's my question. طيب, it's jama', but una is marfu, right? Una is marfu. Ina is mansub. My question is why can we not say ishrina taliban? Why? Ahsanti, because this is mubtada. Mubtada muakhar. And mubtada is always marfu'. Mubtada is always marfu'. Very good. So, ishruna talibatan, because fi hadal fasli is jar majroor, and jar majroor will always be khabar. It will always be khabar. And now we have mubtada, and we know that mubtada is always marfu'. That's why we will say fi hadal fasli ishruna talibatan. If you say I saw 20 students, then you can say ra'aytu ishrina taliban or talibatan. So you can say ra'aytu ishrina. So when it is mansub, it will be ina, but when it is marfu, it will be una. اكتب العدد من 11 إلى 20. Now here, as I said, إلى 20, because after إلى it will be ina. واجعل كل من الكلمات الآتية تمييزا لها. So now you have to write the numbers from 11 to 20, and then you have to bring tamyiz, yani you have to bring ma'dud, something that is being counted. So we have kitab, طالبة, دقيقة, يوم, سيارة, رجل, سنة, قرية, and طالب. So كتاب, طالبة, دقيقة, يوم, سيارة, رجل, سنة, قرية, and طالب. Now what you have to do, you have to use these numbers. For example, you say أحد عشر كتابا, اثنا عشر كتابا, ثلاثة عشر كتابا, أربعة عشر كتابا. So I can give you the answers only for kitab, and inshallah the rest طالبة, دقيقة, يوما, for them inshallah you will also practice by yourselves. So you have here with kitab, and then we also have numbers with some of them with the feminine over here as well. But inshallah you can take a picture if you want to, and you can write them down by yourselves. Now we cannot go through all of them one by one. Inshallah, it's now your responsibility to practice the numbers by yourselves. اقرأ المثال, read the example. ثم املأ الفراغ, then fill in the blanks. فيما يلي, that follow. على غراره, on its pattern. غراره, on the pattern of the example. حامد جوعان, Hamid is hungry, and we know that Jaw'an is adjective, and adjective that end with alif noon, they are mamnu min as-sarf, they do not accept tanween. At-talabu ji'a'un, the students are hungry. So ji'a'un is on the pattern of fi'alun. So for the plural, it will always come on the pattern of fi'alun for masculine and feminine both. Fi'alun. Maryam jaw'a, Maryam is hungry, and we talk about talibat. So we say at-talibatu ji'aun, the students are hungry. As I told you that whether the students are masculine or feminine, and when they are plural, the plural will come on the pattern of fi'alun. Okay. Now we have here Khalidun atashanu. Khalid is thirsty. Now you want to say that the students are thirsty. So how will you say, or the teachers are thirsty? So you will say, yeah, please tell me, anyone over there, or the boys are thirsty. So you will say al awladu itashun. You talk about the sons, so you say al awladu itashun. Itashun is on the pattern of fi'alun. Okay, now you want to bring Amina or Fatima. So what should I say? Aminatu atasha. Aminatu atasha. Amina is thirsty. And now you want to say the girls are thirsty. So you will say Al-banatu itashun. Al-banatu itashun. So the thing is here, when you talk about Khalid, you will say atashanu. And when you talk about Amina, you will say atasha. So atasha comes on the pattern of fa'ala. It comes on the pattern of fa'ala. And atashanu comes on the pattern of fa'alanu. But when we talk about the plural, whether it is masculine or feminine, the plural will come on the same pattern, atashun, that is on the pattern of fi'alun. So for both masculine and feminine, we will use the same pattern, which is fi'alun. Okay, very good. Then we have Ibrahimu Shab'anu. Ibrahim is full. He has eaten a lot and now he is full. Now we want to say the students are full. So we will say At-tullabu Shiba'un. At-tullabu Shiba'un. The students are full. Okay, now we want to talk about one singular feminine. For example, we say Fatimatu. So what will we say about Fatima? We will say Fatimatu Shab'a, right? Shab'a. And when we talk about At-talibatu, and for the talibatu, we will use the same noun, at-talibatu shiba'un. Al-mudarrisu ghadbanu, the teacher is angry. Of course, I'm not. The teacher is angry, and then we want to say the teachers are angry. So we will say al-mudarrisuna ghidabun. Al-mudarrisuna ghidabun, the teachers are angry. Now you want to talk about al-mudarrisatu. So what will you say about al-mudarrisatu? You will say al-mudarrisatu ghadba. Ghadba. The teacher is angry, and then we want to say al-mudarrisatu ghidabun. Al-mudarrisatu ghidabun. As we discussed earlier, that Arabic is a language, and in language we always have exceptions. So what is the exception over here? Yusufu kaslanu, and you say Aminatu kasla, right? You say Aminatu kasla, for example. However, when you talk about the plural is a little bit different. So we will say, or you can bring any name over here. So the plural will be kusala, and it will be the same for both. For example, you say at-tullabu kusala, and similarly you will say at-talibatu kusala. So here you need to be careful that this is okay, alhamdulillah, you're not tired. Okay, so kusala is used for both. It is used for masculine and feminine. So it's not on the pattern of fi'alun. It's not on the pattern of fi'alun. It is an exception. And we have seen the example from the Quran as well, where we discussed the verse of the Quran. So it is kusala. Ta'ammal ma yali, reflect on the following. Lima means why. It equals limadha. Lima equals limadha. And sometimes the alif is dropped. It can be lima as well, but here we are focusing only on lima. It means limadha. Lima kharajta min al-fasli. Akhrajta min al-fasli, did you go out of the classroom? Or why did you go out of the classroom? So when we say akhrajta min al-fasli, you will say na'am, and then you ask him why, and you can simply say lima. And what kind of ha is this? Ha usakti. And this is how the Arabs use it. They will say simply lima. Instead of saying lima kharajta min al-fasli, he simply says lima. Lima darabta hadha al-walada, why did you hit this boy? Adarabta hadha al-walada, did you hit this boy? So you say na'am, and then the answer will be lima, why, and how sakt. So basically we have to practice this how sakt. And I also gave you examples from the Quran as well. There's sometimes this how sakt is also used in the Quran. We have very beautiful example from Surah Al-Qari'ah. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا هِيَ نَارٌ حَامِيَةٌ. So there are some examples from Surah, I think, Qiyamah, هَا أُمُقْرَأُ كِتَابِيَةٌ. So there are some examples in Surah 20, the part 29 and 30th part of the Quran. You will find these examples of ha usakt. اكتب الأسماء الآتية مجرورة ومنصوبة okay مجرورة ومنصوبة. Now we have to write majroor and mansub form of the noun. Okay, so what is the difference over here? What do we need to learn over here? Kitabun, kitabin, kitaban. The endings we already know that marfu comes with dammatan, okay, majroor comes with kasratan, and mansub comes with fathatan. Generally we say mansub, majroor, and marfu, mansub, and majroor. Okay, now here sayaratun, sayaratin, sayaratan. Did you notice something here? In mansub, when the noun is mansub, generally alif is added to that. But when you have ta marbuta, then alif is not added to ta marbuta. That is something that you need to know over here. For example, jannatun, jannatan, jannatin. When you say jannatan, with jannatan, you do not add extra alif. But when you say kitabun and you want to say kitaban, Muhammadun, Muhammadan, Bilalun, Bilalan, then an extra alif will be added to that. So that's where we need to be careful with the nouns that are masculine and feminine. The feminine nouns, we do not add extra alif when it is mansub. But masculine nouns, we add an extra alif when it is mansub. Now you can tell me Hamidun, Hamidin, Hamidan. Shall we add alif or not? With Hamidan, yes, please tell me quickly. Hamidan, shall we add alif? Yes, we will say Hamidan. Khalidun, Khalidin. What about Khalidan? Khalidan, shall we add alif? Yes, Khalidan. Okay. Baytun, Baytin, Baytan. Shall we add alif? Yes. Rajulun, Rajulin, Rajulan. Shall we add alif? Yes. Why? Because all of them are all of them are masculine and they do not end with ta marbuta. They do not end with ta marbuta. But when we talk about sa'atun, it will be sa'atin. And what about sa'atan? Shall we add alif? Please tell me quickly. No, why not? Okay, why not? Because ta marbuta does not accept alif, it is feminine, and there is no need to add alif to that. Very good, mashallah. Mikwatun, yeah. Mikwatun, it will be mikwatin and mikwatan. Sabburatun, sabburatan and sabburatin. Madrasatun, madrasatan and madrasatin. I'm still used to saying mansub and majroor. However, here the order is changed, and sometimes we are human beings and we follow the pattern the way we are programmed. So, anyways, sa'atun, sa'atin, sa'atan, mikwatun, mikwatin, mikwatan, sabburatun, sabburatin, sabburatan, madrasatun, madrasatin, and madrasatan. So that's the basic difference over here, that you need to know that with ta marbuta, we don't add alif when it is mansub, but with a noun that is masculine, and when it is mansub, an extra alif is added to that. Now, inshallah, you will find so many examples of this in the Quran, especially the endings of the verses. They end with nouns generally. Whenever they end with the noun, then you will see that they end with alif, and it has two fathas on that. اكتب الآيات خمسة الأولى. You have to write the first 5 verses من سورة الرحمن, from سورة الرحمن, وسورة الحديد, وسورة النبأ. Now this is your homework, that you have to write first 5 ayahs of سورة الرحمن, سورة الحديد, and سورة النبأ. الكلمات الجديدة, the new words, مجلة, magazine, and the plural is مجلات, magazines. Rakibun, traveler. Rukabun, travelers or passenger and passengers. Musafir is basically traveler, and Rakib is passenger and passengers. Shaqqatun, apartment. Shaqaqun, fa'alun, shaqaqun. So the plural is fa'alun, on the pattern of fa'alun. Imaratun, that means a building. Amairu, amairu is mamnu min as-sarf, because it is on the pattern of mafa'ilu. So any word that comes on the pattern of mafa'ilu will be mamnu min as-sarf. Sinnun, asnanun. Here sinnun means tooth. It doesn't mean age, it means tooth. Kalimatun, the plural is kalimatun. Suratun, and the plural is suwarun, on the pattern of fu'alun. Ja'a is a verb. Ja'a yaji'u. Kawa is a verb, kawa yakwi, and then we have khadimun, that means the servant or the person who serves. So alhamdulillah, we have completed our lesson number 6, and inshallah when we meet again we will do lesson number 7. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.